Saurav, you start. When you see a 17-year-old make world headlines, and when you see a Gautam Gambhir make world headlines, that's what sport is. Forget results.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what IPL is also about. It brings everyone together. As you spoke about Gautam's performances for India and IPL as well. He's a two-time IPL winning captain. So it's a great platform for youth and experience to get together and take this game forward. It's not just him who's a 17-year-old. There's another kid, Prithvi Shaw from Bombay, who's not older, I think.
We'll get him soon.
So it's basically a great platform from players all around the country, all around the world. Glenn is from Australia, and there are a few others as well in this squad. So it's about the blend. You know, it's just mesmerized the nation. You see the crowds in every venue. You know, we had 7 games at Eden Gardens in the quarterfinal and the second qualifier. Not one single game had empty seats. You know, that's what IPL does. As I said, it brings players together. It brings everyone together in this country.
Dada, 2012, I think that was the last year that you played in the IPL in Delhi. Since we are in Delhi and we've got the Delhidardevils players as well. I remember there's a memory of Sourav Ganguly captaining the Pune side against Delhi, the Kotla, getting Kevin Peterson out, and with your hair flying, you running around the ground. You know, that visual is still etched in our memory.
Yeah, and we beat Delhi, so you got to add up to that.
I remember. That was a very
So it's not just
well.
getting Kevin Peterson out and the hair flying. We beat Delhi in Delhi, and Delhi was a serious side then. We got 190, and at one stage after 10 overs, it looked like they'll win. You know, Virender Sehwag and Kevin Peterson just kept hitting that shorter side of the ground in front and kept clearing, and that's when I decided I'll bowl. And bowling from the shorter side of the ground. So every time I walk back, and Glenn will agree because Glenn is such a massive hitter of the cricket ball. Every time I finished my bowling and walked back to my run-up, and I looked up at that side and said, if I err in length, even a missed time would actually go in the 3rd or the 4th tire of that ground. But luckily, Peterson thought I was quicker than what he felt. He actually played the shot before the ball came and he was out. So, and that turned the game around. Then we got Sehwag and we managed to win that game from a position where Delhi was cruising. So, I've seen IPL from the first year, 2008. That's the beginning. And it's just got better and better and bigger, which is a great sign for Indian cricket. It's a great sign in cricket. I know the smaller version has taken over, people turning up because it's just 3.5 hours of cricket. And that probably is going to be the future. But this tournament has just got people into the grounds everywhere. You know, Delhi didn't have a great season, but when you look at the stands, you don't see any seat empty.
I need tickets for the last 2 games.
And that I can organize. You got the team here, so they can organize. You got Gautam, you got Glenn, and the management here. Make sure they'll organize tickets for you. But you know, that's what it is. It's a terrific form of cricket.
Gautam, was it difficult for you to give up? You know, we're talking about the IPL, the glamour, the passion, the cricket. Was it really difficult for you, Gautam Gambhir, captain of Delhi? The season just started. You started off well, and then this team dipped.
Look, I think personally that's what leadership is all about. I think when you get a lot of credit, sometimes you need to take a lot of criticism as well. And being the leader of the boat, obviously you're the first one to put your hand up and say that obviously the results haven't gone our way. And I think I take the moral responsibility, and I'm someone who's going to put my hand up and say that, okay, it hasn't worked, and I should be the one accountable and responsible. So that is how I've always felt that this is what leadership is all about, and this is what I've always realized, that this is how leadership should be.
Nice. You know, when you see someone like a Gautam Gambhir in the dressing room, Sandeep, and 2 questions to you before I come to Glenn, and Vikrant can take the question to Glenn. When you got that first wicket, and all of us have seen you exult, obviously, what was the reaction back home post that game from Nepal that you got? Is there a revolution there? 2, when you see someone like a Gautam Gambhir in that dressing room set the example that he did, and now you are actually sitting with 2 of India's best ever and one perhaps who's played the shorter format better than others. Sourav Ganguly, World Cup finalist, captain. Gautam Gambhir, World Cup winning member, 75, 2007, 97, 2011. Is there a sense of awe? But then you tell yourself, I'm actually playing with them.
Actually, I always feels like a pleasure to share dressing room with such kinds of legend players, and really awesome moment. I'm leaving right now, like sharing this set with Sourav sir and you all guys. And yeah, when the first time I came here, and it was something really fantastic moment for me. Like you are sharing dressing room with like Gigi Bhaiya. And I always dreamed of like this moment. Like one day I have to like improve myself, improve my skills, and I have to take my nation to the next level. And thanks to Delhidardevils for selecting me for like cherishing this moment. And yeah, it's always pleasure. Like you are coming here and you are learning a lot of things. And still I can remember like the 97 runs. 97 runs he scored in the final game, and to be honest, that was one of my favorite innings that he has ever played. Because coming into a situation where India were nowhere, and he took into India to the winning moment, and it was something fantastic. Like you always remember, and yeah, that's a wonderful moment. Like I'm leaving right now. Thank you very much.
And he must have been 10 years old when Gautam played that innings in Mumbai. How old were you then? How old were you when Gautam played that innings at the World Cup final?
I was like 7 or 8 or 9 years.
8 or 9 years of age.
You are 17 now, right? So
Yeah.
10, yeah. I mean,
Could have also been a trigger moment for Nepal cricket. India winning the World Cup 2011.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. Like your neighbor country is winning World Cup, and you learn something from there as well. And yeah, our cricket, like all the players from Nepal, they always follow Indian cricket as well. And like so that like India has always helped Nepal cricket as well, like getting us lots of chances in the past, and still they are giving us lots of opportunities to play here. And yeah, it's always fortunate to come here and play.
okay, so before we've given you a lot of loose balls to hit, okay, and some easy deliveries to pick our wickets. The Hindi song that we did, you've got to sing that for my audience. So plan that before Vikrant asks a question of Glenn. You'll have to sing that Hindi song. Gautam will assist you.
Hindi song?
Yeah, the Delhidardevils song.
I wish I could.
Your contract won't be renewed.
I still didn't.
The Delhi management is there. They won't give it to you next year if you don't sing
You have
that.
to sing a song.
You've got to sing that song.
I
Okay,
can only
you take
sing
your
the
time.
please song.
Vikrant, go for Glenn.
Glenn, you've been around for so many seasons, and not just you or the team. You look at the talent across the IPL, not just the Indians. There are players from Afghanistan, from Nepal, from Australia, everywhere. Is the IPL now the new breeding ground of world cricket?
I think it certainly helps bringing a lot of countries together, and we sit in the change room together, share ideas about the game, and I suppose the IPL, what it's done is brought a lot of cultures closer and brought friends from different countries together. And there's a lot of Indian players that I now consider as some of my best friends that I've spent a lot of time with. I was obviously lucky enough to spend 4 years at one franchise where I was able to make some great friendships within those squads and spend a lot of time with. And lucky enough, we've brought a few of them over to Delhi as well, and to have those friendships last every time you play against them and talk to them after the game, it's brilliant. And I think for someone like Sandeep, who's making his big step on the world stage in the IPL, it just shows the amount of culture difference that the IPL welcomes, and for him to come out and perform like he has been outstanding. And hopefully it just continues to happen where other countries are brought into the IPL, and we can see that diversity shown throughout the whole tournament.
2 games to go for Delhi still. There's so much that you can redeem.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot to play for. We haven't played anywhere near our best cricket the whole tournament. We've showed glimpses, I suppose, with the bat, glimpses with the ball at times, but I don't think we've actually played our perfect game of cricket that we're really striving for. And under Ricky's leadership and guidance, I think he's been able to keep the guys focused and still making sure that we're getting ourselves 100% ready for every game. And I'm sure that hopefully these last 2 games that we can really put a really big show for the Delhi fans, because they've been really patient with us. It's obviously hasn't been a very successful campaign, but I'm sure these last 2 games we can do them proud.
Sourav, if I ask you to analyze Gautam's decision, I mean, I have celebrated Gautam for that decision. I don't think you've publicly commented on it. What would you have done?
Well, it's tough. It's always easy to pass a comment on what somebody else has done. But he must have really gone through a very tough time to take such a call. You come into a franchise as a captain. The franchise wants your leadership skills to take the team forward. And then after 5 games, you just stand up and say, I think it's time for somebody else. It speaks of his guts.
A lot of
Because
courage.
it's never easy to say, okay, I give it away. That's the toughest thing in sport because you may not ever get it back again. But that's what Gautam Gambhir is, and that's why under pressure he's played that big knocks because he's been a decisive person. But if I was in his shoes, probably I would not have. I would have probably tried to see if I could get the team back on track and get them back to winning ways. But every individual is different. You have to respect what he has done. He is a very successful IPL captain, maybe for a different franchise, but at the end of the day, it's the same. The pressure is the same, the rules are the same, and you still have to win cricket matches. So he's been very successful, and maybe from that point of view, it was a decision where he said that, okay, I feel I'm not being able to do the best, not being able to do justice to what the team's wanting of me, and I give it away, which I think is a very creditable decision, but a very tough one, to be honest.
Gautam, my question before Vikrant takes over. I mean, this is a business house, DTDC, a very successful business, humble beginnings, as Abhishek said. I'm sure they encounter self-doubt. I'm sure critical business decisions like the one you've taken. Did you have self-doubt in retrospect, or you were like, whatever I did, spot on?
Absolutely not. I think if I would have had any self-doubts, I would have definitely not played this game. I would have actually retired from playing cricket. Never had any self-doubts. As I just mentioned, it was all about taking the moral responsibility because you come to a franchise thinking about something that you're going to turn it around. And obviously, it was the 6th game when I decided because I wanted to give the next one a chance to try and turn it around, because had it been happening after the 7th or the 8th game, I was only doing the damage control, and it is not about doing the damage control, it is about giving the next one the opportunity to try and turn it around when we had the opportunity to make it to the playoff as well. It was not about that we were out of the competition and then giving it to someone and then trying to do the damage control. That is not the way I've ever thought about the game and stuff. I thought that, okay, 6 games, results haven't gone our way, and someone needs to put his hand up and say, and who better than me?
Tempted still, Gautam, let me carry my kit bag, maybe give it a try. Are you tempted to play?
Absolutely, absolutely eager to turn it around, because I think I came here with only one mindset, that is to turn things around, and that is what sport is all about. Challenges are something which you should be accepting and trying to maybe get better at the challenges as well. The only reason for me to come to DD was that first it was my home side, and then leaving KKR obviously was a tough decision because I was with KKR for 7 years. But then it was absolutely my call that wanted to come to DD and try and turn things around. And obviously after the 6th game, I thought that the way this campaign should have gone, it didn't go that way. But absolutely motivated and wanted to turn things around even now. And I feel that I've got it in me to turn things around. It was not about that hunger is gone. The day that hunger goes, I think it's time for me to go.
Sandeep, just to move away from cricket, the IPL is not only about cricket. It's about socialization. Do you guys party? Do you party? I mean, if you what Indian food have you taken to? What slang have you taken to? Do you abuse at 17? I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I mean, everyone does. All of us did in college. So what's the other side of the IPL? Does Glenn Maxwell teach you to abuse?
No, no one.
Come on. You're being politically correct now.
Never.
So give me the backstage of the IPL. Now, when you go up, what will you do? Will you party at night?
Boria, I have a question to ask. Does Glenn Maxwell actually defend you in the nets? Or do you go and
sometimes.
tell him when you bowl at the nets that some balls please defend because I also need to know that I bowl the ball in the right areas?
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Not often.
He says not often. Okay, the backstage from you, and then I have a question for Glenn.
I think all guys used to enjoy very much, and I'm not like that guy like who is only 17 right now and who goes for party. And yeah, I just like enjoy my all moments with all the DD team members, and always stays at my room.
No, what I meant was, India is an incredible country. Have you been able to see a little bit of India? Or is it only hotel, back, play, train, programs, sponsors, done?
No, I went to some places like there are lots of beautiful places in Delhi as well, and I've been here before as well, and like Qutub Minar and some Lal Killa and Parliament, India Gate. I've been there, and it's very beautiful.
Dada, Delhi's not done well. I remember before the IPL began, you picked Delhi as one of the dark horses. Somehow, the results haven't come. But look at the other side. Look at these three players. Look at Rishabh Pant, Prithvi Shaw, look at Shreyas Iyer. They could be the future of Indian cricket.
They
The
are
way
the-
they've played now, fearless cricket.
Yeah, they are the future of Indian cricket. It's not that they could be anymore because Shreyas is already in the national side. Rishabh Pant has been in and out in the T20 format, but the way he has batted this season, I think he's learned from the international experiences, and that's pretty normal that he's only going to get better with time. Some of the knocks he played this season has been remarkable for Delhi. Unfortunately, it hasn't been on the winning side, and you know, I'm friends with some of the people, and I say that you get to 180, 190 so many times, and you don't manage to defend it. So they're very, very close, but yet they've not been able to get past the line, which will come with experience, which will come with time, and hopefully they can do that. So young Prithvi Shaw, the under-19 World Cup champion, and won the World Cup without dropping a game. And I was a part of that World Cup, and they just steamrolled side. So
He looks younger in flesh and blood than he looks on television.
He is young, and how old? 17 or 18? Yeah, so he looks
a dynamite
he
when
looks
he bats.
exactly like a 17, 18-year-old. And so in India, this sport is an enormous sport. It just brings talent every time, and every 2 or 3 years you'll see young players coming in who can take the world stage on fire. And I think Glenn will agree because he comes from a different background, Australia, who's also been such a great country in terms of this sport. It's a great sporting nation to be Australia, and he will also recognize that so many young boys, not only in this team, you go around, you see in Rajasthan, in Mumbai, in Kolkata, you know, what Kuldeep Yadav did last night for KKR was remarkable. Do or die game, just turned the game on its head. And that's what this country is about, and that's why this is such a strong cricket playing nation.
Glenn, question for you. What's the difference between the Big Bash and the IPL? And which one do you enjoy more?
Well, it's a
I
bit
mean,
different.
no
I
one
suppose.
will call you anti-Australian.
Pardon?
Trust me. No one will call you anti-Australian.
It is enjoyable coming over here for the IPL. It's obviously a bit different because you're at your home, you've got your family around you, and I suppose that's the thing that probably is different for myself is I spend a lot of time away from home throughout the year. That the Big Bash is almost like my holiday period where cricket's just part of my holiday that I'm actually at home, and I'm able to spend some time with my family. And we don't train as much. It's quite a relaxed schedule where you might travel for a game once every week or so, and then come back and you get to spend another week at home. So I think it's going to change obviously a little bit. We're going to 14 games each side as well next year, so it's going to obviously make it a bit of a longer time, and I think they're going to squash the tournament as well. So it's going to be a little bit different next year, but yeah, it's obviously a lot different over here, and the fans are obviously a lot different as well over here.
Gautam, I'll ask you one, then Vikrant can close this panel. Do you actually, I mean, despite the results, do you actually see a team of the future in what you've seen in your team?
Absolutely. I think we've shown the glimpse. I think the youngsters have put their hand up and obviously performed really well. And sometimes it's about winning as well. I think the best culture is to groom a youngster is a winning culture. And I know it's been tough for some of the young boys coming into the setup where the franchise itself hasn't done well, obviously, but they've still put their hand up and performed really well. With experience, obviously, they'll learn how to finish the games as well. Rishabh has been remarkable. And Shreyas done really well as well. Prithvi has done really well as well. It is just about sometimes getting the results in your favor, and then obviously the confidence will build from that point as well. So I still feel that this side has a lot of talent to turn things around, and obviously I can't say the next year because I'm sure the last 6 years people have been only talking about next year. So I think we've got enough talent to show to the entire country that this team can be serious contenders.
Gautam, I'm sorry, Delhi is not going to be one of the 4 teams to go through. If you were to pick one winner this year, who would it be? One winner. Yeah, for you.
Look, it's been very tough. I think if you see till the 12th game, there are 7 teams which are in contention for the playoff. In fact, only 2 teams have qualified for the playoff. There are still 5 more teams who are in contention right now. Personally, if you see, I think I've always been a believer that the team which has the strongest bowling attack are the favorites, according to me. And I think Sunrisers at the moment looks like that because they're playing with 5 bowlers. They are absolutely, I think, confident with their 5 bowlers, and those 5 bowlers have done the job for them. And I think Sunrisers probably at the moment is looks like the favorites. And second, if you ask me, is maybe Mumbai Indians.
Glenn?
I think Chennai is going to win it. I just think they've got so many options that they can play the same team but also in different conditions, so that they don't need to chop and change too much because they can bowl 5 bowlers and not bowl a guy like Jadeja or leave Bravo to only bowl 1 over and still get the job done. So Chennai for me.
Okay, he reminded me. Sandeep, over to you. Will you sing? Nepali song. We will learn. Something. That's the last part of this panel because I know Gautam has to go. Glenn, like in the nets, he can do some drums on the table.
No, he can't.
Glenn, no drums?
No, he can't.
He can't? Okay.
He cannot sing. He
Okay,
actually
no
cannot
worries.
sing.
No
He is
worries.
one of the worst singers I've ever heard in my life.
Oh,
I do not want to put these people through that. So
Okay,
Thank
so
you
we'll
very
spare you that. He's batted for you. He's a nice friend.
straight bat.
Ladies and gentlemen, serious talent on this stage, as we started out with. We've got another panel to come up. Sourav and Vikrant stays. Put your hands together for one of the IPL icons of all time. Whether he gives up captaincy, doesn't give up captaincy, damn it, Gautam Gambhir will forever remain a legend. Put your hands together. Sandeep, that first wicket will lead to 100, and Glenn, straight bat, not straight bat, the ball will keep going out of the ground. Wish you all the very, very best. Thank you for being part of this panel. Thank you very much.